Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in. For the time being, I will just be doing monthly forecasts for those zodiac signs that are most popular on my YouTube channel. So I really have to thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting on my videos because you help to put them into circulation where other people can view them. I will still be doing all zodiac signs though for the weeklies. Okay, so let's get to your forecast. Hey Sagittarius, welcome to your July 2022 astrological forecast. So, the month starts off with the sun in, let's see here, Cancer in your 8th house. Okay, of other people's resources and money. It's shared property, things that you own with someone else. It's also like jointly held bank accounts, credit accounts, credit cards, things like that. But this is also the house of rebirth, death and rebirth, okay, where you begin again. At least one day out of this, like in July or when the sun is in Cancer, you have to think back, but you usually tend to begin something new. You leave something behind and you start over again in some way or other. You know, not like that's, and it's a good thing, not a bad thing. So try something out. If it's not working the way you like, at least you gave it time, right? You let it do something or other, right? But anyways, the month starts off though with Mars in Taurus in your 6th house, okay, and Mercury then moves into Cancer on the 5th in your 8th house. Then Venus moves into Cancer on the 17th in your 8th house, but up until that point, okay, up until the 16th, it's still in Gemini in your 7th house. Okay, but there's let's see here. Well, then, the sun moves into Leo on the 22nd in your 9th house. We've got Mercury moving here on the 19th, and there's a new moon in Leo on the 28th. Okay. And Jupiter does turn retrograde in Aries on the 28th also. So really, we only have like your 6th, 7th, and 8th houses going on here. And then moving into the 9th house, which is, you're the natural ruler of the 9th house, right? So you kind of like it when planets are in Leo, right? But for now here, this Mars, okay, Mars moving into your 6th house of work, the kind of work that you do, the workplace, your co-workers, your work schedule. It's also your house of health. It's also the house of service, okay? But this is like very active, okay? It's just left, okay? Well, first like few days up until like the 4th. It's still in Aries in your 5th house, okay? Along with Jupiter. So Jupiter is still in your 5th house of fun. So with these two planets together here, I'm sure you at least did something or other. The Mars on top of Jupiter would kind of urge you to do something or really get you out there. If you didn't do anything, then I would have to say that you speculated in some way. Even if you just like went to a casino or something like that, I'd have to say that you gambled, okay? But anyway, so Mars is in your 6th house of your health also, along with the planet Uranus is still transiting here. So at one point in this month, those two planets are going to conjunct together. So that'll be covered in the weekly. But I just have to tell you for now, having Uranus in your 6th house to begin with makes the workplace like kind of like never a dull moment. You never know what the hell's going to happen there. People quitting left and right. This is one of those times, though, with the combination of these two planets together, it just like doesn't blend well sometimes. But it's like a big relief. It's a letting go. It's like putting up with something for so long that you get to your breaking point and you can't stand it. So this could be you, or this could be someone you work with if you are physically in the working place, okay? Even so, even if you're working from home, there's still something that could be going on where just one day I don't want to say everybody gets up and quits, but quite a few people do. They just walk out, okay? And you could be one of them. You could be one of those people that just like are, you know, hopefully you've been doing something on the side. Since the planet Uranus entered this area, it's made you, you know, really fall back on your own skills that you have, your own creativity. By now you're doing something or other that's considered like a side hustle that you would like to be your main source of income. And it looks like that's where this is heading. And it is out of necessity. In fact, something could happen. It might not be you happening to it or happening to your coworkers, but your company could do something that just puts everybody out in the street. You know, like you lose your job or something, or they do something that you can't adhere to, you know, like moving your office or expecting you to drive, you know, really, really far to get to a job that you only took. Really, one of the points of taking the job was because it was close for you or whatever. So especially with the gas rates being what they are in the U.S. right now, you know, it's time to look for another job or fall back on what you've already been doing, okay? If you're self-employed, period, you know, something could actually happen with a client at this time that is very bizarre, okay? That's what the Uranus is, the planet of freedom, wanting freedom, okay? And Mars is the planet of action. So it's if you've been putting up with something, okay, not even just work, right? As far as your health goes, you're usually pretty active anyways, though. There are two kinds of Sagittarians. There's, like there are two kinds of anything, you know, but some Sagittarians are just naturally energetic and they work out, they exercise and whatever. They have a lot of energy, built up energy, so they've been doing that most of their life. So if you're one of those, then you'll just continue or maybe take up some new form of exercise. But if you're one of those Sagittarians that you're not that physical, okay, you may decide to do something about that now, okay, to take more of an interest in your health, with the idea of, I think, altering your appearance in some way or other. So I would have to say you're getting thinner, or maybe you're too thin and you're gaining a little weight to fill out a little bit, okay? This is also the house of service, and I've mentioned this many, many times that for me it's a 50-50 thing. It is someone coming into your life, could be a friend, a neighbor, relative, anybody that needs your help in some ways, and they're going to ask you for a favor, but in return they will offer to do something for you, so you both benefit from the arrangement, okay? Now, because the planet Uranus has been here for so long, it seems like people just count on you to do whatever you did for them, maybe that one time, because maybe this wasn't an ongoing arrangement. And it's kind of like turning into something like that. It's something that you have to put a stop to because you never signed up for this thing. Okay, and I'm like I'm talking about doing something like, you know, because you talk to your neighbor in the hallway of your apartment building with a hello and, you know, goodbye or something like that, and maybe do an errand for them or two, that you are now like the first name on their emergency contact list, okay, which is like you did not sign up for this, okay? A lot of times people that are asking you to do things for them have other people they can go to, but they're going to you because you're easier to deal with than the people that they should be going to. And this is such as people who have adult children, or relatives who can ask another relative, but you know, it's just something that's come to a head. So that could be when this Mars-Uranus transit, the conjunction comes out, with ending something like that, some kind of setup that isn't working, okay? Now, okay, having Venus, though, still in your 7th house of Gemini, does make, it makes very nice and pleasant relationships with all your relationships, okay? Your close relationships. This is like romantic, your friends, a business associate, something like that, whatever, okay? For now, so that's, a really nice thing. Having Jupiter, though, in Aries in your 5th house of romance, okay, means that you have more opportunities for romance. More people are coming into your life for you to choose from, okay? And so having Venus here in your 7th house is kind of adding to that. So you could be dealing with someone who is supposedly a business associate or something like that, but they're actually interested in you romantically, or want to ask you out, or will ask you out. Even if you are self-employed and you have a client, they could do something like this at this time. It could be uncomfortable for you, or it could be something that you like. It depends on if you want to date this person or not. But this will really pick up when Mars moves into Gemini in August, okay? Mars is going to be in Gemini from August until March of next year, a long period of time. And Jupiter will also be in that 5th house at that same time. So I'm already putting it out there that someone is going to act very aggressively towards you in romance, in business, in anything. But somebody really wants you to pair up with them on something. It could be even a creative project, having Jupiter in your 5th house. But it could be romance, it depends. But somebody they're just not going to let up, okay? Now, having the Sun in your 8th house, again, of other people's money and resources, you could, I would say, this is also the house of money coming to you through means other than earning it, such as a settlement of some kind, an insurance payout, a refund, a credit of some kind, someone like leaving it to you in a will, like an inheritance or legacy. And it's also prize money. So you guys are the gamblers of the zodiac. So that's why I was saying about, having like planets in Aries in your 5th house does make you want to gamble a little bit more. Having the Sun in your 8th house kind of helps that maybe you are able to get at money. Doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to win it, but it's a really good idea to look into your past insurance policies that you've held, even from previous jobs. You may still be covered and you didn't know it. If you had a 401k or something from another previous position somewhere, you could have stuff like out there that you just forgot about, or you thought ended whenever your job ended, or something or other that you didn't have the coverage there anymore. Now Mercury here and then Venus here eventually, okay, you will like people will really want to help you, okay? If at this time you need to deal with any kind of financial institution, such as the IRS or a bank or a credit card company, you're going to get somebody that will help you this time. Maybe you previously made a call or something and you got somebody that just could not be bothered. And I always tell people, just hang up and call on another day at a different time and pray that you get a different person, because a lot of times it's just you got the wrong person. They just didn't want to do their job, okay? So that's, in effect there. If we're trying to get the cooperation of somebody, that you need their help, especially if you need their financial help, and you need, let's say, like a new way of like setting up some kind of like payment plan or something like that. This is when people do actually want to help you. But you could also inherit, okay? Maybe there is an inheritance somewhere in your life. There's a full moon in Capricorn on the 13th, where you have Capricorn in your chart as your 2nd house. It's the house of income, earned income. It's directly across from your 8th house, though. Okay, these are the money houses. Pluto has been transiting here for many, many years. Pluto does roll big bucks, big money, big money. So I'm sure you've heard that, and you're wondering, well, where the hell is it? Because Pluto is getting ready to move into Aquarius, and in fact, it does briefly do that next year. So a lot of times when a planet leaves a sign and moves into the next one, it does one last big boom, an aspect of some kind that leaves you with something, hopefully, in this case, big bucks, okay? Doesn't mean that somebody's going to leave it to you. They don't have to. I mean, there's other ways to have money coming to you. Okay, so I still feel that you're going with the whole gambling thing, and then gambling does not just necessarily mean like lottery or casinos or anything like that. You are taking a gamble on yourself, on something that you've created, that you're putting yourself out there. And if you perform some kind of service, or if you do something creative, that's the risk that you're taking, and that you could possibly make money from something that you really enjoy doing. Okay, now when the Sun and Mercury move into your 9th house, and there's a new moon here in Leo on the 28th. This is like a new beginning, like a fresh start in a way for you anyways. A feeling of, I mean, it's like summer hasn't ended, but it's towards the end of summer, and a lot of times this is when things really start to pick up for you. Maybe this is when you get a chance to travel. It's also a time where you hear from people who you haven't heard from for a while, but they live at a distance or even in another country. Okay, this is the house of adventure, and just having the Sun here does make you like seek things out like that. And around that new moon, I believe that you're going to, I don't know, possibly start a trip, even if it's just a road trip. Start some kind of anything, though. It's also a media house. It's an internet house. It's publishing and media. Foreign anything. Okay, so you may have a lot more contact with people who are from another country, or even just like a completely different culture than yours, a completely different background. But I really think that if you haven't been able to travel, okay, you really need a vacation. And I think that's what you're going to maybe try to do, even if it's just local. It doesn't have to be far. Just need to get away. Okay? So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Sagittarius on the 10th and the 11th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Gemini, and those dates are the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 5th, 6th, 7th, 18th, 19th, and 20th. The best time for money is the 12th, 13th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. The best time for your career is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 30th, and 31st. And the best time for communication and travel is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 14th, 15th, 28th, 29th, and 30th. So don't forget to check out my weekly forecast. In the description box below, there's a link to my website that I will be updating. Okay, because I do offer an awful lot of other things that aren't even there. Okay, but there's also a link called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who only want to know maybe one or two things about your chart. Okay, so I will see you next week. Goodbye.